Hello my schoolers, welcome to my school channel. My name is Alexandra. So right here in this channel, we'll be tackling the JAMB past question for the subject Literature and English year 2015. Please do not go anywhere, stay with us and we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. So right now we'll be attempting questions 16 to 30. Now beginning with question 16. Sweet smile in time of snore gives pride in spite of snare. Sing, read this word of despair and save a snared heart from cascading stream of strife. The dominant rhetorical device in the excerpt above is option A, rhyme, option B, alliteration, option C, chiasmus, option D, onomatopoeia. The answer to this question is alliteration. Do not forget that alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds. Now, these consonant sounds have to be close to one another. Now, you see in line 1, sweet smile. So, the consonant sounds has been repeated in the time of snore. Line 2, spite of snare. And we see it continues in line 3, sing. Then line 4, we have save a snared heart from cascading stream of strife. So we see the repetition of the consonant sound s in this poem. So it is the dominant rhetorical device used. So option B therefore is the correct answer to this question. Question 17. Narrative poem indicates that the poet is attempting to option A, preach a sermon, option B, tell a story, option C, summarize a story, option D, describe a place. Now, the answer to this question is tell a story. Narration or a narrative tells a story, but when we talk about describing a place, it is descriptive. So, in this context, tell a story is the answer to this question. Option B, therefore, is the best answer. Question 18. The use of sound patterns to suggest meaning in poetry is option A, lyric, option B, lullaby, option C, mimic, option D, reading. The answer to this question is rhythm. Rhythm is the sound pattern of poetry or of a poem. Rhythm is the flow of sound and it encompasses low and high pitch, stressed and unstressed syllable, or accented and unaccented syllable. So all of these make up rhythm, and then it's also associated with meter and foot or feet. So all of this has to do with the sound pattern of a poem. When we talk about lyric is the expression of a writer's emotion, and it is also associated with music. Lullaby is a piece of music usually for children. Then mimic is an imitation for entertainment or to ridicule. So the answer to this question is option D, rhythm. Question 19. The literacy devices used in the lines Pataki and mustard flowers like blue and yellow eyes peep through the green grass are dashed from one signs a village girl. Option A, alliteration and assonance. Option B, simile and personification. Option C, repetition and alliteration. Option D, rhyme and reading. The answer to this question is option B, simile and personification. Now when you study the lines, you see that Pataki and mustard flowers are being compared with blue and yellow eyes with the use of like. Okay, and that is simile. Then these flowers are peeping through the green grass. So peeping through, only humans can peep through. So giving the attributes of a human to flowers is simply personification. Okay, so option B is the correct answer to this question. Do not forget you can take practice questions with our simulated JAMB CBT past questions. All you need to do is you click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the Myschool website. There you can download Myschool mobile app for your Android phones or Myschool software for your computers and laptops. Please go ahead and download and start practicing. Now moving on to question 20. In literary devices, Pond deals with option A, placing words side by side, option B, playing on words, option C, arrangement of words, placing two opposite phrases, answer option D, placing two opposite phrases. Okay, the answer to this question is playing on words. Pun, it means playing on words. So playing on words to explore the different meaning a word could possibly have. So option B is the correct answer to this question. I believe you are enjoying this content. If yes, do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and then tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos. Question 21. O ceremony, show me but thy words, what is thy soul of adoration? The figure of speech in the lines above is option A, antithesis, option B, apostrophe, option C, personification, option D, euphemism. The answer to this question is apostrophe. Apostrophe is when you talk directly to things, when you refer to things as though they are physically present. So you can see the speaker saying, "Oh ceremony," as though ceremony is a human being. Okay, so this is apostrophe. But when we say antithesis, antithesis is when two opposite ideas are presented in a sentence or are put in a sentence. Personification is when human attributes are given to inanimate objects. But then apostrophe is when you refer to something directly. So you can see, "Oh ceremony," like I'm talking to somebody or someone around me. Okay, so euphemism is using a mild statement, expression to describe an unpleasant situation. So the answer to this question is option B, apostrophe. Question 22. Ballad is meant to be option A, discussed, option B, read, option C, sung, option D, acted. The answer to this question is option C, sung. Ballad is meant to be sung. Ballad is a type of poem that tells stories and it is meant to be sung. So option C is the correct answer to this question. Question 23. The repetition of single words or phrases at the beginning of lines is option A, parallelism, option B, assonance, option C, alliteration, option D, pun. Well, the answer to this question is parallelism. Mere looking at this question, you might want to conclude that the answer is repetition because it has to do with the repetition of single words or phrase at the beginning. So repetition is simply the repetition of words. But then repetition is not provided in these options, and then we have to make do with what we have. So in this option, we see parallelism, assonance, alliteration, and pun. We know that pun is play on words, so definitely option D is not the answer. Alliteration has to do with sounds, consonants, and repetition of consonant sounds. So therefore, option C and then B is not the answer because assonance has to do with same vowel sounds. But then let's look at parallelism. We know that parallelism is sameness in grammatical structure. And a popular example, or the example we are familiar with, is structures like she likes to read and then she likes cooking. Now, when we see she likes to read and she likes cooking, there are two different structures. And then we can conclude that she likes reading and she likes cooking at the same grammatical structure. And this is the popular examples of parallelism we know. But then when you take a look at this definition, we can see that we can apply it to parallelism. If parallelism is sameness in grammatical structure, then we can have words, similar words, functioning the same, and then it tells us that, okay, it is the same grammatical structure. So if you have three lines and the words the is repeated in the lines of a poem, then it also can be parallelism. If we have a word, a single word such as book repeated or sleep repeated in the first, second, and third line, it can be parallelism. Or if we have phrases, she likes, it is also parallelism. So the answer to this question is option A, parallelism. Question 24. The account of experiences of an individual during the course of a journey is known as option A, an epilogue, option B, an autobiography, option C, a travelogue, option D, a prologue. The answer to this question is a travelogue. A travelogue is any literary text that talks about travels or gives account of a person's journey. Okay, option C therefore is the correct answer to this question. Do not forget that you can ask as many questions on the Myschool platform. All you need to do is click on the link in the description below. It takes you to the Myschool website. There you can ask as many questions as possible and solutions will be provided to you within a short period of time. Now moving on to question 25. The pattering rain was kicking up little explosions of dust in the glade. He heard the faint whisper of the stream as it stole across the land and disappeared into the bush. The underlined expression in line 3 is A, lightheadedness, option B, personification, option C, hyperbole, option D, synecdoche. Now in line 3 we see as it stole across the land and disappeared into the bush. Now this it refers to the stream. Okay, it refers to the stream, and the stream stealing across the land and disappearing into the bush is personification, because we are giving the attributes of a human being to the stream, which is an inanimate object. Okay, so the answer to this question is option B, personification. Do you have better steps, explanation, or solutions to any of those questions? If yes, feel free to use the comment section below, indicate the question and the solutions you'd like to share. Question 26. The old man slept in his favorite chair. The wind ran its finger through its hair. It looked like a tree gone dry of sap, and his hands were dry upon his lap. The rhyme scheme of the poet above is option A, B, B, A, A, option B, A, A, B, B, option C, A, B, A, B, option D, B, A, B, A. Now let's go back to the board for a better understanding. So we have line 1. Line 1. The last word is chair. Line 2, we have hair. Line 3, we have sap. And line 4, we have lap. Okay, so in rhyme, we look at the sound at the end of the word. So we are looking at the last word and then the end sound. So the end sound for here is hair, which is a diphthong, and this is pa, which is a consonant, and also p, which is a consonant. So we give this A since it's the first line, and because it's the same with this, it's also A. It's different from this, so we give it letter B, and we name this also letter B because it is similar to this. So what we have is A, A, B, B. So this is a coupled rhyme, A, A, B, B. Now let's go back to the screen. Now from what we did on the board, from the transcription and all, we can conclude that option B is the correct answer to this question. Question 27. The youthful hue sits on thy skin like a morning dew. Option A, onomatopoeia. Option B, oxymoron. Option C, paradox. Option D, simile. The answer to this question is simile. Why? Because there is a comparison in the statement. Okay, the youthful hue is being compared with a morning dew, and we can see the use of like. So therefore, option D is the correct answer to this question. Question 28. A poet's use of regular rhythm is known as option A, allegri, option B, assonance, option C, meter, option D, onomatopoeia. The answer to this question is option C, meter. Okay, so meter is the use of regular rhythm. This means that it is a repetition of sound pattern or the flow of sound pattern, which can occur once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and so on and so forth. So this brings us to the concept of types of meter, which includes monometer, diameter, trimeter, tetrameter, hexameter, and pentameter, and so on and so forth. So the answer to this question is option C, meter. Question 29. That age is best which the first is when youth and blood are wanna, but being spent the worst, and worst time still succeed the former. The rhyme scheme is option A, A, B, B, A, option B, A, B, A, B, option C, A, A, B, B, option D, B, B, A, A. Now let's go back to the board for a better understanding. So in rhymes, we look at the end sound. So in the end sound, we can only get the end sound from the last word of each line. So line 1, you have is, and line 2, you have wanna, line 3, you have worse, and then line 4, we have former. So the last sound here is this, the last sound here is, and then the end sound here is this. So we can see this is A, and this is different from this, so this is B, This is similar to this, so it is A, and this is similar to this is B. So we have A, B, A, B. Now let's go back to the screen. From what we've done on the board, we can see that option B is the correct answer to this question, A, B, A, B. So we can't really say specifically what type of rhyme scheme is this, because we don't know if this is all there is to this particular poem. We don't know if this is just an exact, but if this is what the poem is, if it is just a 4-line poem, then it is an alternative rhyme, because an alternative rhyme is just 4-line and A, B, A, B. But then if it is just an exact from a poem, it could be a traditional rhyme or a Shakespearean sonnet. But I doubt if this is a Shakespearean sonnet, so it's either a traditional rhyme or alternative rhyme. So option B, therefore, is the correct answer to this question, A, B, A, B. Question 30. This question is based on J.C. de Graaf's Sons and Daughters. The device used by Aaron in the excerpt below is, now look what we have, a permanent bloom of ugly paper flowers. A, rhetorical question. B, oxymoron. C, alliteration. D, euphemism. The answer to this question is oxymoron. Why? Because in this statement, this is not a rhetorical question. Rhetorical questions are questions that do not need a reply. They are statements that do not need response. Okay, so option C, alliteration, is a repetition of consonant sounds, and we cannot find a repetition of consonant sounds in this statement. Euphemism is using a mild expression to describe an unpleasant situation, and that is not the case in this statement. But then when we talk about oxymoron, oxymoron is placing side by side two opposite words or two contradicting words. Now when you look at this statement, you can see paper flowers. Paper flowers are contradictory words, okay? Paper is lifeless, flowers have life. So this is oxymoron. Option B, therefore, is the correct answer to this question. We have come to the end of this segment. I believe you enjoyed every bit of it. Please do not forget to hit the like button, click on the subscribe button, and then tap on the bell notification to get informed as soon as we release the next videos.